morning, everyone. I hereby call this regular meeting of Nacogdoches ISD Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that a quorum is present and notice of this meeting was posted as required by Texas Open Meeting Act. Thank you for joining us tonight. And first action is invocation, and I ask Ms. Brady to give us tonight's invocation, please. Amen. Okay. Tonight's principal of Regay Elementary School, Ms. Julia Wells, and her students were leading us to the pledges to the flags. Please.
Good evening, President Nermod, Board, Mr. Burton. We have brought our student council with us tonight, and I'm going to have them come up, introduce themselves, and I'm going to turn it over to our sponsors, Ms. Marcel and Mr. Adams.
Ms. Wells, before we go any further, I'd like to thank all the parents for bringing the students here tonight. Thank you all.
All right, while they're lining up, we want to just say thank you for having us, school board and Mr. Burton. We are the 4th and 5th grade leadership team at Regay. These are our student council members, and we like to do things to give back to our school and our community. Last year we had a food drive for Hope Food Bank. We're hoping to do that again this spring, and we also have our fundraiser that's going to be coming up this spring that we raise money so we can give back, and we have a really kind of fun thing planned that we're going to keep a secret for right now that student council funds are going to help with, so be on the lookout for that. But I would again, I'm Mrs. Marcel. I'm an instructional coach at Regay Elementary.
And I'm Mr. Adams. I just want to thank, again, the parents for allowing your students to come up here. These students are very much leaders of Regay, and they represent our school very, very well with their high academics, their social skills, and just their overall leadership qualities. So I just want everybody just know that these are a great group of kiddos.
Yes, they were elected by their classmates, so that was a big deal. So, all right, we are going to turn it over, and again, thank y'all so much.
Hi, my name is Major Carthel, and I am in 4th grade.
Hi, my name is Renee Sealy, and I'm in 4th grade.
Hi, my name is Maddie McKelvey, and I'm in 4th grade.
Hi, my name is Aria May, and I'm in 4th grade.
Hello, my name is Aaron Whitman, and I'm in 4th grade.
Hello, my name is Nicholas Santos, and I'm in 4th grade.
Hello, my name is Derek Stanky, and I'm in 4th grade.
Hello, my name is Jaden Casey, and I'm in 4th grade.
Hello, my name is Brennan, and I'm in 4th grade.
Hello, my name is Carmen, and I'm in 5th grade.
Hello, my name is Cooper, and I'm in 5th grade.
Hello, my name is Jackson Hollins, and I'm in 5th grade.
Hello, my name is Dash, and I'm in 5th grade. Now, if you would please stand for the pledges. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. You may be seated.
Great job. Awesome. They all become good public speakers.
Dragons and all your mentors and models as well as parents.
Thank you, President Naramon, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Burton. February is National Career and Technical Education Month, and joining me here this evening is Sean Lucina. Mr. Lucina is our Director of CTE at Nacogdoches High School, and he has a presentation. Mr. Lucina.
Good evening, President Normand, school board members. Mr. Burton, thank you for the opportunity to brag about the great things that are going on in CTE. I have assured Mr. Linebarger that I will speak for 3 minutes. Anything over, I'm facing the penalty box. So I'm going to try to keep it brief because I could probably talk for an hour about CTE. So brief presentation contains a lot of photographs, and I couldn't fit everything that's going on in there, but there's lots of culinary things, and if you keep up with our Facebook page, you see a lot of things that are just dropped off at my desk that I feel that I'm obligated to consume. One of the most amazing things at the very top was this whole board of just, I couldn't even identify everything that was on there, but they always show up. The things in the bottom left of cosmetology, facials. I visited the barbershop this afternoon, and kids are just doing amazing things there. I did not include the picture where I had my nails done, something new I wanted to try. Welding in the bottom, we have included some equipment that not only teaches them how to weld better, but to test their welds, to physically see how strong they are, and they're doing well. The other one that looks like somebody's getting arrested, that's just practice for our law enforcement kids who qualified for state. One of the few things that, one of the many things that qualified for state was felony traffic stop, which is that picture. The student to the right of that is showing off something that he personally made, which was a cedar and epoxy cutting board that he made for his mother. All right. I did want to say that a lot of these opportunities that we are taking advantage of has been provided by the Moody Foundation. I do want to thank Ms. Erin Wyndham and her consultants for working through all of the red tape and the applications to get us a lot of funding. You can see a few of the things that we did purchase, major things. A 12,000-pound automotive lift. That's one of the students' trucks that's up there in the top, and they had the engine completely out, did suspension work, new tires, put it back. It's just amazing. The weird thing in the top, the creepy guy, that's an AI mannequin. I do encourage you guys to stop by and visit. You could actually have a conversation with this thing. It's a little scary, but you can ask him whatever and he'll tell you. But it gives the opportunity for our health science students, he's the patient and he can play many roles, but trying to, and he'll grade the students on the questions that are asked of him. So much training for them. Next to that is a new commercial kitchen, 20-foot. We haven't gotten it yet, but I did receive some pictures that it's well on its way. And then the bottom is a picture of our welding instructor talking to one of our students. Current projects, we have a lot. So we are almost done with this beautiful Satterwhite log home playhouse that we are hoping to find a buyer for here very soon. We're ready to put the roof on it and do the electrical wiring, put some lights and a ceiling fan in it. The one in the middle, this is an incredible, it's a 16-inch circular saw that's used to cut the logs, and I wanted to include that because not everybody, I tried picking it up and I struggled with it. So he mastered the art of cutting a straight line with that monster saw, so that's Luis. We were working with Village Knack. They wanted 6, which is strange, outhouses for their incinerator commodes out there. So we got funding, or they got funding from Better Together, a nonprofit, and bought the materials. So we are on number 3 and 4, and then we have 2 more after that. The drawing in the middle is something that our welding students are working on. Instead of buying $40,000 worth of new welding booths, I asked the instructor, Mrs. Heather Hill, I said, how much would it cost for our students to build new booths? She got me a list, and it's gonna be about $5,000. I said, order the materials. So that's the drawing. I just want to thank you for your support, administration, school board, our parents, and the public, a lot of the partnerships that we have. I could include probably 50 slides and take up a lot more time, and I've probably gone over the 3 minutes. I'm sorry, Les. But it's about opportunities, and the resources and the support that you guys provide so that we can look and provide opportunities for all these wonderful kids is just amazing. And that's why I love my job so much, and I always enjoy coming in to talk to you about it. So thank you.
We have a recognition for Transportation Department.
Yes, President Neermond, we have 2 bus drivers we're recognizing tonight. Those bus drivers are putting a bow on their routes for this afternoon, and they will be up here after the closed session.
Okay, very good. Thank you. In that case, the board will now conduct an executive closed session to discuss items posted on our agenda pursuant to the following provision of Texas Open Meeting Act and as allowed by Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.076, and 551.129. No voting will take place in the closed meeting. Any action the board wishes to take as the result of discussion in closed meeting will take place after the board reconvenes into open session. Time now is 5:15. Sorry, 5:13. Good evening, everyone. The board is now reconvening to open session, and time is 5:52 p.m. Please remember that the items listed should not go as is ordered. We had two recognitions that we were waiting, and they have arrived, and Mr. Les Landberger, we're going to take care of the business, the bus driver of the year first.
Thank you, President Niramon, board members, Superintendent Burton. Yes, we've got both drivers here. They have completed their routes for the day, and we're grateful for them taking time out of their evening to come by here. The first driver I want to introduce, and this is Mr. Chris Grant, and Mr. Grant has been named the district's bus driver of the year as part of a safe employee recognition program by Property Casualty Alliance of Texas, the district's insurance provider. Now, Mr. Grant knows, according to Ms. Adams, Mr. Grant knows his students. He makes every effort to communicate effectively with his parents. He takes care of business the right way. And because of that, Mr. Grant has been named Bus Driver of the Year for NISD as part of this campaign. Now, Mr. Grant, we have a certificate for you tonight. The insurance company is also sending some gifts as well, but they have been held up for whatever reason. We will get those to you. But tonight, we do have a certificate here signed by President Niramon and Mr. Burton. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Grant. We also have a second driver to recognize tonight. This is Eugenio Garcia. We're grateful to have Mr. Garcia here, and as we learned after the fact, we were incredibly grateful on October 15th of last fall to have Mr. Garcia behind the wheel of one of our buses. At a stop on Highway 7, while Mr. Garcia was transporting students home from Thomas J. Rusk Elementary, a student was preparing to exit the bus. Mr. Garcia, who was paying attention to his mirrors, realized something terrible was about to happen. There was an 18-wheeler came up on the right-hand side, the shoulder, where the student was going to be exiting. Mr. Garcia quickly grabbed him, stopped the student, closed the door just to make sure, he didn't know what was going to happen. Was there going to be debris flying into the bus? But thanks to Mr. Garcia's quick actions and once again doing things the right way, we just averted a terrible tragedy that would just still be impacting us today. So, Mr. Garcia, we have a certificate for you as well. Thank you so much. The district's so grateful for what you did, and we're thankful that you were in place at the right time, at the right place on October 15th. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, señor Eugenio García. Estamos muy agradecidos.
Okay, now we are in a portion of announcement. Mr. Burton, Superintendent's report and announcements.
Yes, sir, President Niramon, board members, parents and visitors. Real quick on the superintendent's report, 8 of our Dragon swimmers are in Austin right now, preparing for tomorrow's Class 5A swimming and diving meet. We have 2 relay teams competing. The boys 200 medley relay of James Wright, Grant Copen, Cy Scroggins, and Owen Allen, and the girls 200 medley relay, Jocelyn Lopez, Kira Blackman, Livia Whitaker, and Devin Whitaker. Also, Lavia swims the individual 100 butterfly and 100 backstroke, and Grant Copen is in the 200 individual medley and 100 breaststroke. A year ago, Lavia finished 5th at state in the 100 butterfly, and Grant was 12th in the 100 breaststroke. So I know they've got plans on moving upwards on those performances. The preliminaries will get underway at 9:30 tomorrow, and the finals are at 9:30 Saturday. And I look forward to us having our state qualifiers visiting at our next board meeting. McMichael Middle School 8th grade Lady Dragon basketball team capped off an outstanding season earlier this month by winning the district championship. The team finished the year with an impressive 8-1 record. The Lady Dragons 7th grade finished as runner-up in district, so great job to both of those teams. Regay Elementary 5th grader Hazel Hairston artwork titled Leopard Me Cake has been selected for the Texas Art Education Association's Youth Art Month exhibition. Hazel's work will be showcased along with others through pre-K through 12th grade students from across the state at the Bullock Texas State History Museum in Austin during next month's Recognition Month of March. The exhibit will be featured on the Bullock Museum website next month. In recent years, NISD has had a number of art students have their work displayed as part of the Youth Art Month, and Hazel is carrying on this tradition. Congratulations. Last month, we had an interest meeting with churches and organizations in Nacogdoches, inviting them to come and partner with us in Care Portal. Care Portal is an initiative that mobilizes churches and providers in our community to provide care for children in crisis. The school district can act as a facilitator to link students and their families with the churches in town. And I'm going to go off script on this because I know enough about this. This is an organization and a platform that we're extremely excited about at NISD. We have a lot of students and a lot of families in our district that are in dire need at times for help. And when I say help, I'm not talking about constant, assistance. I'm talking about you're going through a rough time. You need just a little push up, okay? And so we see that a lot as educators on our campuses with our kids, old and young, with families, old and young, and our social workers who do a fantastic job working with kids, our counselors who do a great job. A lot of times they're left only being able to do so much. I mean, you can't just, and I want everybody to understand this. NISD at our school district, WIT is not just about academics. It is about being a partner with families to be sure their children are being raised and are being given every opportunity to be successful. And if that means that they're struggling some way, we want to help them. And it may have zero to do with academics. Now, at the same time, you have to understand that if we help them with some of these needs, that allows them to focus on the academics. So basically, what Care Portal is this. If our social workers see a need from a kid, they will be able to put this in the system, in this portal, and then our partners, be it churches or other organizations, will be able to say, I want to help this family. And they will be able to log in and take care of that family. They will not know who those people are necessarily all the time. But what it does, it connects a need with someone in our community that can help. It will only be people from our community and only be people in our community that are getting help. So extremely excited about this. I know that our social workers are extremely excited about this. They've already been through some training with that, and we've already had that first interest meeting, and I was literally blown away by the number of people that showed up saying they wanted to be a part of this. So just kudos to everybody for getting this going. I know that Dr. Sauceda is going to be heading up over the social workers, and she's got them rolling, so we're going to hopefully be able to help a lot of families in Nacogdoches and also give a lot of folks in churches that want to help the opportunity to help. So just wanted to get that out there, and that ends my superintendent report.
Okay, thank you. Now we're in portion of public comment, and we have one person signed up to address the board. I do not believe he's here, so hope he is in a better place. A warmer place, by the way. Oh, you are going to address? Are you the person?
Yes, sir.
The person that I have listed, Mr. James Mason.
Oh, I'm sorry, I signed up as well.
That is, I don't see, I have one person. Do we have?
I turned, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
But if you will call my office tomorrow and talk to Denise, you and I can visit. How about that? Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, now we are in a public hearing mode. And we have one item. Okay, we will now proceed with the public hearing on a Texas Academic Performance Report, better known as TAPER, for 2024-2025. After the presentation, there will be an opportunity for a member of audience to make a comment. The comment should be limited to 3 minutes and concerning the topic. Ms. Ashley Boyett, Director of Assessment and Accountability, will present the report tonight. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening, President Neermond, board members, and Mr. Burton. So this is our district annual report. We have it every year, usually in February. It is the closing of all of the information from the 24-25 school year. So everything that's in this presentation has been presented to you before, so there's nothing new. It's just a culmination and kind of the closing of the chapter of the 24-25 school year. So there are 8 sections to the annual report. The first one is the largest section. It is the TAPER section, which is the Texas Academic Performance Report. There are multiple things under that for campuses and for the district. There's also the Public Education Information Management System, or PEIMS, Financial Standard Report. There's the district accreditation status, campus and performance objectives, a report on violent and criminal incidences on campuses, student performance in post-secondary institutions, progress towards the House Bill 3 goals, and then there is also the TAPER glossary. All of this information is already on the website under the required postings, so if anyone is interested, and it is going to contain a lot more than just what's in the presentation tonight. So going with the TAPER, this is compiled by TEA every year. It includes a wide range of information that is performance of students for the district, the campus, and the state. And it's broken into student subgroups that include ethnicity and socioeconomic statuses. And it also gives us information on district, staff, on programs, and on student demographics. So the cover page of the district and the campus reports is going to include the accountability ratings. And so when we look at that, these are the accountability ratings for the last 5 years. The one on the right are the accountability ratings where we have for the 25 school year. It also has the special education status, which for the district is needs substantial interventions. And then it also has the distinction designations. And you can see that 3 of our campuses have received distinction designations. Reggae received a distinction in academic achievement in reading. TJR also has a distinction in academic achievement of reading, math, and science. Top 25% comparative growth for academic growth, and top 25 comparative closing the gaps. And then high school also received 2 distinction designations for academic achievement in RLA and in mathematics. The TAPER also gives us STAR information, and STAR is broken down into 3 passing categories. The first is approaches grade level, there's meets grade level or above, and then there's master's grade level. And this is reported for all subjects and all grades. And also for our accelerated testers, which are the 8th grade students that take algebra in middle school, their math accountability in high school is going to be their ACT or SAT score. And so that's also reported on the TAPER report. So this is a slide that shows our district and ISD, all subjects, all grade. The purple line is the approaches grade level, the blue is meets, and the green is masters. And this is longitudinally over the last 5 years. And you can see that we have either stayed the same or gone up from last year, and we are in the trending up position from the 2020-2021 school year. This is a slide of our elementary campuses. This is also all grades, all subjects, and the color coding is the same. Approaches is purple, meets is blue, masters is green. It's the last 5 years, so we can see trend lines of how the campuses are trending. And Mike Moses only has 3 years because they only have 3 years of data from when they became an elementary school. For our secondary campuses, it's the same thing with McMichael. It's only been a school merged together for 3 years, so we only have 3 years of data. And then we have NHS and Margie Chumley. Another part of the TAPER report is annual growth. And so the TAPER does annual growth, which is how our students progress in one school year. And then there's the accelerated learning piece, which is the 14-16 hours. And so any student who did not pass the STAR test successfully is required to do remediation hours. And so they get extra points in an extra grading system, and that is in the TAPER report. For our accountability, they combine annual growth and accelerated learning, and they give us our score called academic growth. But for TAPER, academic growth, the combined score is not reported. So this slide shows us the annual growth and the accelerated learning growth. That's going to start in 4th grade with reading and math, and we'll go through the high school EOCs for those subjects. And it's how the students grow from one year to the next. The accelerated learning percentages are a lot smaller because that's not a population of all of our students. Those are just the students who were unsuccessful the previous year on STAR, and so this is how those kids have progressed. Another part of the TAPER is the bilingual education part. So bilingual and ESL is disaggregated in a bunch of different ways, and one of the ways is the STAR performance for all grades, all subjects, which is what the chart here is. There's also an annual growth and accelerated learning for the EB students. And in this graph, you can see the total bilingual education is the column on the far right, and you can see how they compare to the district, region, and state in all subjects and all grade levels at approaches, meets, and masters. Next is STAR participation. So we also get graded on how many of our kids actually take the STAR test. And so the green column is the state, the blue is the region, and purple is NISD. And you can see that we are right there with the state all the way across, with 99% of our students participating in the STAR test. Annual dropout rates is another part of the TAPER. This data lags a year, so the newest data that we have for graduation rates is the 23-24 school year. And you can see that NISD is the blue, the state is the green, so our dropout rate is significantly less than the state's dropout rates. The 4-year extended graduation rate. So graduation rate is tracked by cohorts of students through 6 years, and we get the scores of the highest of the 6 years. So that is what this represents, and you can see here too that even the extended graduation rate is significantly higher than the state's. Career and college military readiness, CCMR. This is where we see our CTE kids shine, like Sean was just talking about. And you can see the trend line for CCMR over the past 5 years has an upward trajectory. And I know that there have been lots of things put in place at the high school to track and to make sure that all of our seniors who graduate are ready for their future. And CCMR lags a year just like the graduation rate lags. So the 24 graduates are the most up-to-date ones that we have here. So these are the other ways that students can get points for college and career readiness. This is looking at college. So the TSI, if you look at that's the top portion, they have stayed consistent. Our scores have. For AP, all subjects have increased 10% in participation. So a lot of our kids are doing that and they can receive college credit. And then our SAT and our ACT scores have increased over the past 2 years. Other post-secondary indicators are dual credit courses is what this mostly is, and 36.5% of our students graduate with dual credit courses, which means they receive college credit hours and high school credits at the same time. This is our student information, which is our longitudinal enrollment rate. You can see a slight decline from 2020 of 6,187 students to the 24-25 school year was 5,756 students. There's also on the taper information about staff. So the average years of experience for NISD is 8.7 years. Our teachers have been with the district on an average of 5.6 years. And even though our turnover rate is increasing, you can see with the trend lines, the state turnover rate is increasing for teachers in general. Student enrollment programs. So the green column is our bilingual EB students. The red is CTE, blue is GT, and green is SPED. And you can see over the past 4 years, everything has been pretty consistent, except CTE, of course, has grown, and we want to see that grow even more. And then teachers by program, the first column is the district and the second is the state, and that's just showing us how many teachers we have for each of those areas that the students are enrolled in. So now we're on to section 2, which is the PEAMS financial standard report. The 23-24 is the most up-to-date we have on the district report. It shows revenues, expenditures, disbursements, tax rate, and fund balance. And on the campus reports, it has expenditures of objects, expenditures by function, and program expenditures by program. The TEA also gives 1 of 4 accreditation statuses to a district every year. The district can expect the 24-25 accreditation status to come out sometime in the spring. It still hasn't come out yet. We're expecting it probably next month. So we will say for the 23-24 school year, our accreditation status is accredited, and that's the most up-to-date one that we have so far. Campus performance objectives is section 4, and each of the campus improvement plans are on the campus websites, but in the actual report that you'll have in board book and the one that will be on campuses, there are paper copies of all of the performance objectives by campuses. We are also required to give a report on violent and criminal incidences that happen on campuses. Due to FERPA reasons, if there are less than 5 of those incidences on a campus, then we mark it with an asterisk. I'm sorry, this is so small, but trying to get it all on the page. So we had incidences in reason codes 11, 14, 30, and 36, but all of them were smaller than 5 students, so they're all marked by an asterisk. Performance in secondary institutions, all of this comes from the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. There's a website that you can go on and you can see every district in the state of Texas. And this is a snip of our district. And so we can see that Margie Chumley and NHS, that we had students that attended 4-year public universities, 2-year colleges, independent colleges and universities, and then we have students that are also not trackable and not found. So that happens a lot of times if they go out of state to college, then they're not found. House Bill 3 goals, these are our actual percentages of what we've done with our third grade math at meets and above, our third grade reading that meets and above, and our CCMR. And this is listed for each of our campuses. And this year, the Taper Glossary, we have the one that we've always had in English, but there is also a Spanish version. And so I have included that in the paper copies that will be going to each of the campuses. And so within 2 weeks, it's already posted on the website, but within 2 weeks, we will have paper copies at the district office and at each of our campuses. And if anyone has any other questions, they can reach me at the phone number and email listed.
Are there any members of the audience that have comments? Board? If not, I ask for a motion.
I'd like to say something first, please. I wanted to say something that I think would be beneficial to everyone, particularly people that are listening, or what this is preserved for. Number one, this is a very intricate process to collect all this data. And the glossary is over 100 pages, just the glossary. Number two, we have a thing that's called COVID lag. We kind of forget about that, but the COVID lag is still present, okay? Number three, the state actually changed this test and made it more difficult, and it was purposeful. And in the people that I've talked to from around the state, being from leadership TASB, I've got a lot of attachments to them. So this gets harder for particularly people with a large bilingual or non-English speakers. So that makes it difficult because the test is now harder. And then on top of that, the next year they changed the test where you could no longer take a hard copy and just circle and do it like you always did their test. It went to everything has to be online. Every student, well, you can have a few exceptions, but basically it's required everybody. And that takes time for adaptation for our students. So the other thing I want to say is a real positive things. And I want to commend our students and our teachers and everyone that helps our teachers in preparing for these examinations. We are showing improvement, and we must not lose sight. For each child, there is improvement, and we care about each child. There's much more that I would like to say because my heart is really involved in this and our success as a district and as individual schools and as individual students. And we all can help in producing a positive attitude and trying to help people succeed in their way, because everybody has a little different way. So I thank so much that y'all assembled all this data. I saw so much things like we have a very successful graduation rate compared to the whole state. Well, that's something like whoopee, okay? We're getting people where they can go out and become successful in the world. Well, there's a lot of other things when I look through this data, and it's quite extensive, that, okay, we're beating this part of the state, we're beating that part of the state. So we've got state swimmers, but we got people that are doing things in our district that we're beating state averages. So we just need to be successful each day, and we will succeed. Thank you.
Hey, we are in a portion of report, and we have only one report, and this is Business Office Report, Mr. Ben Eberland, Chief Financial Officer.
Yes, sir. President Neermond, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Burton. We just have our regular run-of-the-mill reports we have every month. I'll touch on the donations that you'll vote on in consent. First off, do we have any questions on the reports? Gifts and donations under $2,500. NHS received $150 from, and I apologize for the pronunciation of this, Anjan Atia, Hanuman Inc., doing business as Lucky Stop 4 for Dragon SRT student needs, and $400 from Christ the Savior Orthodox Church for NJROTC student needs. We also have gifts and donations over $2,500. Fine Arts received $4,672.50 from Nacogdoches Band Boosters Club for charter buses to state competition.
Thank you, sir. Now we move to the consent agenda. Unless removed from consent agenda, all items listed will be acted on with one motion. If there is a board member who wishes to discuss an item on a consent agenda separately, please indicate the agenda letter. It will be set aside for further discussion and a separate vote.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you, board. Now we're moving on to discussion and action agenda. We have our plate full tonight. It's 10 items. First, item A. There is not an action resulting executive closed session. Item B is consideration of and board action on the purchase of Amplify English Language Arts for grades 6 through 8 for 2026-2027 school year. Presenter is Dr. Jolene Curley.
Good afternoon, President Neermond, board members, and Superintendent Burton. On page 568 of the board book, you'll find the requests for the 6th through 8th Amplify English Language Arts purchase for school year 26-27. The implementation of Amplify for 6th through 8th will ensure a continuum of instruction and vertical alignment from elementary to middle school. When we first started exploring this resource early in the fall, it was really threefold. The state released a review timeline that informed districts across the state that it would not be until 2030 until they conducted a review for this specific content area and grade level. Secondly, we have 5th graders that are currently receiving research-based the science of reading instruction, and they'll be transitioning into middle school. And so for that continuity of instruction, we started really exploring this with our administrators and with our teachers early in the fall. We anticipate that the State Board of Education will eventually rebrand and transition the Texas Amplify resource to a Bluebonnet learning material in the future years, much like they did for the K-5 language arts instructional materials. We are asking the board to approve the purchase of Amplify English Language Arts materials and professional development for the upcoming school year in the amount of $80,870.95 from state funds. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Board, are there any questions?
I have a comment. So I've been hearing all kinds of things about Amplify, all of them good, and I contacted some of the 6th, 7th, 8th grade English teachers and said, what did you think? And this was music to my ears. They were worried because the rumors were that the rigor on Amplify was a lot higher than what they were used to, and they were thinking, oh my. And their response was, our students have risen to the occasion. And I thought, well, that's what we want. So that was
Absolutely.
good.
Thank you for that.
Curley, thank you. And we're moving on. You better stay there for a while.
Yes, sir.
Consideration of and board action.
Let's have a motion,
Oh, I'm
Coach.
sorry.
Yeah.
Make motion.
I move to approve the purchase of Amplify English Language Arts grades 6 through 8 for the 2026-2027 school year as presented.
I second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next one is consideration of and board action on the of the federally funded vendors for professional development, coaching, and consultation.
Hello, everyone, again. The next request can be found on page 581 of the board book. We're asking for approval of this list because we have 2 additional vendors that have been added. That's going to be School Psych, AI, and Salmonson Counseling. We review in consultation with our business office quarterly for new vendors, so this is an additional approval that we're asking for. I'd be glad to answer any questions that the board may have.
Board, any questions? What's up? Okay. All in favor indicate by saying I need a motion.
You're in a hurry.
I'm in a hurry.
You're trying to hurry. I move to approve the updated list of federally funded vendors, professional development, coaching, and consultation as presented.
I second.
Okay. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, aye. Motion carries. Next is consideration of and board action on federally funded vendors, instructional materials. Again, Dr. Curley.
Yes, sir. Very similarly to the last request, we're asking for board approval for federally funded instructional materials. This is also an additional vendor that we've added, Carolina Biological Supply Company. We ask that the board approve this vendor.
Which one?
Carolina Biological Supply Company.
D. I see.
I move to approve the updated list of the federally funded vendors' instructional materials as presented.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item F is consideration of and a board action on approval to the submitted the district plan to address and, oh, I missed one? Oh.
They all kind of look alike, so it's kind of.
Consideration of and the board action on the certification of provision of instructional materials 2026-2027.
Yes, the Texas Education Agency requires us to seek approval, ratification, and submission of this document annually to ensure that our students have access to instructional materials that cover 100% of the Texas essential knowledge and skills, and to certify compliance with the Children's Internet Protection Act. We ask that the board approve the TEAC certification form for the certification provision of instructional materials for the upcoming school year.
I move to approve the certification and provision of instructional materials for the 2026-2027 school year as presented.
I second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I just got out of doctor's office 3:45 today, so I have excuse.
Cut you some slack.
Consideration of and the board action on approval of submitted the district's plan to address and certify teachers as permitted by Texas Education Code 21.0032, parentheses A-1. Mr. Charles Zemanick would be presenting.
Well, howdy. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm a little bit loud as it is. I guess I'm going to come all the way back here. My wife's in there. Hey, can you turn me down just a bit? It probably has a bunch of jokes that can be said later in life. So I'm happy to meet with you today to discuss this particular plan for uncertified teachers. The action sheet is on page 619. The actual plan, thank you. The actual plan itself starts on page 620, and the actual presentation is on page 626. Just before we begin, I will be using a lot of acronyms today. I apologize, they're acronyms of craft here. So when I say EPP, it's an Educator Preparation Program. When I say TEC, it's Texas Educator Code. HB2 is House Bill 2. There's a really cool new one called an SDTP, and if I say it too fast, it doesn't sound right. That's a school district teaching permit, and so we're going to dive into those all very quickly. So that we can move on. So the purpose of today is that you're being asked to evaluate a plan for us to address uncertified teachers, giving the superintendent of schools the authority to then submit the plan to the TEA, Texas Education Agency, so that the commissioner may consider our request to continue our DOI, our District of Innovation exemption from certification requirements up to 2030. It's a whole mouthful. Essentially what we're asking is we have a plan on how to get people that are uncertified to be certified by 2030. So as we go through this, House Bill 2, just a quick background, limited the use of uncertified teachers, which has been kind of a pretty common practice since we've been allowed to do it. So I don't know if y'all remember when we became a District of Innovation, one of the specific areas we were looking for was being able to place someone as a teacher of record that didn't necessarily hold a standard issued certification. And that has become a practice that we and across the state has become reliant upon. House Bill 2 during the 25 state legislature decided we're going to do away with that. And they gave us an opportunity to apply for this specific waiver so that we can create a gradual stair-step plan. By 26-27, so starting next school year, we are not allowed to have an uncertified teacher, unless we do the DOI exemption, in a K through 5 reading or math classroom. As you can imagine, I've got numbers in here for you just a little bit. That kind of sent a small shiver down my spine, just knowing the number of employees we have. But by 27-28, all foundational curriculum requires a certified teacher, and that is your maths, your sciences, your social studies, ELAR, anything required for credit for graduations. Those are foundational courses that we got to start finding certified teachers for. The good news is the state realized, okay, well, you're going to have a hard time probably making that transition, so we're going to offer you this waiver. With that, we currently have 82 teachers in foundational courses that are employed under a DOI letter notice. And so if you're kind of like me, 82 sounds like a lot, but what's that 82 out of? So it's 82 out of 288 teachers in foundational courses, or 28% of our teachers are going to be hired under a DOI agreement. That breakdown at elementary is 46%, secondary is 54%. So this is across all 9 of our campuses, and it's concentrated, you may find this hard to believe, in hard-to-staff areas such as math, ELAR. So with that, we are presenting a plan to you on what we plan to do over the next few years to address that. And one of the things I want to let the board know is we do not plan on employing people with new offers of DOI contracts. The district has provided, or the TEA has provided us the school teacher district permit that will allow us to employ people for up to 3 years, but it's a lot more technical, and it's going to require board action in the future. So what we're asking for today is to maintain those that are currently on a DOI letter notice and then working through those. So starting in 25-26, with verification and enrollment has already taken place. I don't know if you keep up with our teachers. Several of those 82 probably had a small heart attack when they got an email from me that said, hey, based on House Bill 2, if you're not certified, we can't employ you. That's part of the requirements for us to request this waiver, is that we have to show a good faith effort to get them certified. It was interesting to see the number of people who started working and making progress again on that certification. What you see is just cursory glance, 26-27, we want to have only 25% of those 82 people still uncertified, down to 15%, and then by 29-30, we should not be having any more on a DOI letter notice. So what are we doing this year? And this is all part of the plan. I'm trying to give you a 30,000-foot view. We are currently verifying their enrollment in an EPP, or Educator Preparation Program. So when I went to school to be a teacher, I went through, I student taught for a semester for free at McMichael Middle School, and then I had my standard issued certification, was hired as a teacher. Currently, people are able to get into a classroom without having that experience. So they are working with an EPP. And so we have formalized those EPP providers. To date, we've formalized agreements with Stephen F. Austin State University, because they're right here in our own backyard, and provide a great opportunity for partnership. And then also Region 7. Both of those programs provide our DOI candidates, or those in an EPP, cost-effective measures. It's the cheapest program, while also the fastest to get you to your certification. One of the things that we're going to have to start implementing for our DOI people is the individualized certification plans, which I have already started making with them, as we then will check their progress throughout the coming years, if given the waiver. So in 26, 27, again, we want to have no more than 25% of those remaining, limiting the uncertified teachers. We're also going to start requiring documented exam progress of our teachers as you're working towards this. And then working with our EPP providers to ensure that it's not just us, but also hearing, like, if SFA has someone that they're concerned about, they can reach out to our office, and we're going to make it a outreach to that employee to see. 27 through 29, we're going to go down to 15% or less. My goal is to get this thing squared away next year, because I don't want to have to keep coming back and presenting this. But we will have no new hires that are uncertified, and we will utilize emergency permits only when necessary. And the emergency permit, and again, I will make sure I use that acronym the right way, is the SDTP, or the School District Teaching Permit, that will allow us to employ someone for up to 3 years with board action while they work through their certification. So again, the support structures we have in place at this point in time are SFA as well as Region 7. We are working on refining our mentoring and instructional coaching models to help these individuals as they navigate not only learning to be teachers, but also being teachers simultaneously, which is not an easy thing to do. Targeted professional learning opportunities, especially on those staff development days, and then again, the monthly progress tracking, which means Excel and I have become best friends. For recruitment certified pipelines, this is something I'm actually very excited about. We're expanding some of our student teaching placements with things like year-long paid residency. So now, instead of us only having a semester where we throw you in there and then you roll in, we're actually doing kind of what's considered a hospital cohort model, where we will utilize 2 elementary campuses and the middle school, where we will be putting these year-long residents together, and that way we're able to have ongoing support from their EPP as well as us. The idea then being that when they graduate at the end of that year, that they are, we're going to be hopefully having them join the Dragon Nation. I say it with a smile because that's what we want. We're also going to utilize something that we now have, we just got notification of, which is the U.S. Prep grant through LASSO 4. That grant's going to allow us to evaluate new mentoring programs as well as grow your own, which I think is a big initiative that I know Mr. Burton and I have talked about, that we look forward to having. We obviously are also going to career fairs. The Region Service Centers have done a really good job of only providing us candidates that are certified. And then, of course, promoting certification incentives, which the incentive is you get to maintain your employment with us, which is a good incentive. So that is, in a 30,000-foot view, the plan. The actual plan you have starts on page 620. This plan, should you vote today to authorize Mr. Burton for us to submit this to the TEA, will be posted online for the community to view. I am happy to entertain any questions.
All very well presented. Second of all, this the incentives to promote certification, can you list one or some of those for the
Yes. So specifically, one of the areas that we have as a high needs area is ESL certifications and bilingual certifications. And Dr. Sauceda is, I think, my one ally left me. No. So those are actually certifications where we're willing to let the individual employee have the day off. We're not going to dock them for it. We will reimburse you for a successful passing score on your certification, and we're also providing you professional development on the actual certification exam. So those are the types of incentives we have for high needs areas. We'll have, I think, a greater conversation when we get to the comp plan about specific areas that we're trying to incentivize through stipends.
So good. When we talk to somebody, we can say, we've got incentives to help you.
We want you to be certified.
Good, good.
Actually, I say we. Your principals are probably the ones that want you to be certified the most because they're the ones having to do all the interviews.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Just if you give an incentive, make sure they make a commitment.
You and I are on the same page.
Okay. Any question, any comment? I'd like to have a motion.
I move that the board approve the district plan to address uncertified teachers and authorize the superintendent to submit the plan to the TEA in accordance with section 21.0032, section A-1 of the Texas Education Code.
I'll
Second.
the motion. Okay, that's fine.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Same side. Motion carries. Now next is item G. Consideration of adoption of a resolution authorizing employee pay for during the severe winter weather.
Yes, sir. President Neermont, Board, if you will recall, on Monday, January 26th and Tuesday, January 27th, we had a winter storm that did some, icing on our roads, and we decided to cancel school for those 2 days. First, I got to give a shout out to everybody that was involved in that. We had a great group that we checked in and made sure that we're all on the same page and we understood what was going on. So thank you for everybody. That's always a fun decision to make. But the reason we're here today is because we do not want to have a gift of public funds. So I'd ask the board if they would please approve a resolution that we were able to pay our employees for those days that they have missed. And along with that, at the bottom of that, any people that were necessary to work on those days, that had to go out and do whatever they were doing, that we pay them at the, I think it is called, well, it's on here somewhere. They have a pay that's a little above, I think it's time and a half for going out, for checking roads or having which we had to do with our facilities department. So it was time and a half as a premium rate. Sorry, there it is. So that's the emergency pay. Anyway, the resolution is in there, and I ask the board to approve that.
Yeah, not to. Okay, I ask for a motion.
I move to adopt the resolution authorizing employee pay during severe winter weather for January 26th and 27th, 2026 as presented.
I second the motion.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Same side. Motion carries. Next item is item H, consideration of and the board action on 2026-2027 school calendar. Mr. Martin is not here, and
That's correct.
And then we'll take care of it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Our calendar, our committee has met. The District Innovation Committee first established an academic calendar, and then the committee sent that to the District Advisory Committee. This is a process that started back last year, looking at different dates and things. And as y'all know, when you adopt a calendar, you're the one that I will actually recommend to y'all, and you will adopt it. But we want to get as many, voices involved as we can, because teachers and staff and principals, they're the ones that are, day in and day out. So this is a culmination of the work that they have done, that they have seen over, several months, and it is the calendar that we've decided to bring to you tonight.
Is this the same as the SFA?
Yes, the holidays, and I'd actually checked, I'd visited with Gina Oglesby, who was over their calendar, and we actually had a conversation a couple of weeks ago, that making sure, because I think they changed theirs, and ours was already, somehow we got the heads up, and we changed ours to mimic theirs.
Board, any comments, any questions? If not, please give me a motion.
I move to approve the 2026-2027 school calendar as presented.
I second the motion.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Aye is consideration of and board action on resolution regarding Senate Bill 11, better known as SB 11, period of the prayers and reading of the Bible and other religious text. Mr. Martin?
Mr. Martin is still not here. I will take that, Coach. Senate Bill 11 requires the Board of Trustees at every ISD take a record vote no later than March the 1st on whether to adopt a statutory resolution establishing a daily period for prayer and the reading of the Bible or other religious texts. The resolution is presented to the board for consideration in order to comply with the requirements of Senate Bill 11. If adopted, the resolution would require Nacogdoches ISD to provide a daily period of prayer and reading of the Bible or other religious text on each campus in accordance with the Texas Education Code 25.0823 and corresponding updates to local policy DGA and FNA would be recommended in coordination with the district's policy consultant. And just if I can go off script a little bit, the purpose behind this bill, I'm not quite sure, but when you look into it a little bit more, what it actually is asking us to do is to offer or designate a time during the day where our students outside of instruction, which will be before or after school, will be able to have prayer or read their Bible, which currently, if a student wants to pray or read the Bible, they are absolutely free to do that. Along with adopting a time, we will also have to track the students or staff who are a part of this. So if you are a staff member, for instance, that wants to do a daily reading or be in a prayer group that we establish this time of day, you have to fill out a paperwork, and we have to log that paperwork and keep it on file to make sure that only people that have filed that paperwork are allowed to participate. Same with the student. Parents would be required to sign that they understand that their student is going to participate in this and that they are giving their permission for that. Currently, I will say that we at several of our campuses have times of prayer, like with, for example, our FCA group that meets at the high school. They have prayer, they have Bible readings, they are allowed to do those things. This is already covered in the Constitution that they are allowed freedom of religion. So that is really the things that it's wanting us to do, we already can do. We're just not required at the moment to mark who's going and who's not going. I will give this to you to discuss, ask any questions. I'll be glad to answer.
I was just going to say, this is just creating administrative tracking and keeping up with paperwork. It doesn't change anything we're already doing other than paperwork. Is that my understanding?
Yes, ma'am, that is
So our
correct.
students already have and already do participate. Okay.
No, he answered the question. They have the freedom and flexibility now to pray or to read their Bible. So I understand.
Or I would just like to, we keep saying Bible, but it's any religious. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And our students have the freedom to, group in any kind of belief that they want. This is just seems like unnecessary bureaucracy. Much more restrictive, yeah.
I move to not adopt this resolution regarding Senate Bill 11 for the period of prayer and reading of the Bible or other religious texts.
I second the motion.
Okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. All right, item J, consideration of and board action on the purchase of intercom systems additions from Universal Time Equipment Company. Since Mr. Martin is not here, our superintendent will carry on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, President. Board members, I know that y'all were excited that we haven't had any big facility ask for purchase tonight, but that is over. We are Now, bringing to you something that we brought back to you earlier in the year, and that is a district-wide access or speaker additions. And when I say speaker additions, I'll read this. On January 12th, 2026, NISD accepted a Region 7 vendor proposal for district-wide access IP speaker addition project, which will enhance the existing intercom system for emergency paging. Specifically, it will allow for the emergency broadcast to happen at NHS, in the hallways, the field house, and other outside areas that students frequent. Along with this, the outdoor areas at McMichael, Carpenter, Regay, the Davis Gym at TJR, and Fredonia will be covered for the same purpose. They are furnishing their own labor for installation with coordination of NISD staff. The total project cost includes the following items: Universal Time Equipment Company, $211,803, and an owner contingency of $25,000, with a total project cost of $236,803. The budget impact is $236,803 out of our Safe Cycle grant money, which is money for the state for that purpose. This will, there are maps in there to kind of get through some of the information if you would like that. I'm sure you've already seen it. But this is a safety concern. This is something that we want to be sure if we do have a lockdown or we do have an emergency that we need everybody inside, that everybody is actually hearing the message. So we bring that to you for your consideration to approve.
Board, questions, comments?
I just want to say something. This is really well done. I think this is a cherry on the top of the sundae on our program to help have the highest level of safety we can. And what I looked at there's a color here that shows that this is actually going to cover our whole school. And it'll be where there's red in here. You can actually get this, I guess, online on this. But the red shows you where it's really loud, and then it carries over to our whole campus. And then what's important, it only has a small bleed over, but all those houses already hear everything on all the football games. So this is an emergency, and so a small bleed over won't hurt anything. But I think this is a wonderful addition to our safety protocols underneath our safety director and our head of our resource officers.
I move to approve the purchase from Universal Time Equipment Company in amount of $236,803 as presented.
Second.
I say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Board members, are there any question or comments or any agenda that you would like to be on the agenda for next month? Be adjourned.